So here's a question for everyone. How many of you have heard this phrase? Magic happens outside your comfort zone. That truly, if you want magic to happen, you have to leave behind everything you know, burn down the ships, and build new ships. I truly believe this. I, in fact, wrote a book on this topic. I call it Comfort Zones Are Boring, Go Do the Thing. And I believe this so strongly. I went on a book tour, I held workshops, I have a group. I believe this in the heart and soul of my being. And then everything came to an end the day I started my own business on the side. And that is the day I realized that getting out of your comfort zone is the equivalent of demolishing the house you live in, like with a big old crane, like demolish, and starting all over. Meanwhile, there's a different way to do things, which is, rather than demolishing the house you live in, why not add on an extension? So take everything you know and add on to your comfort zone. So here's what happened when I started my business. In 2019, I, who have a full-time day job at Microsoft, a very busy day job, decided I must start my fashion line. I have to do it right now. No, I'm not gonna wait till I retire. No, I'm not gonna wait till the time is right. No, I'm not gonna wait till I know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna start it. And I started it in the way that I am comfortable doing it, which is bespoke. I went to fashion school, I learned tailoring, I learned a lot about fit and size and pattern making and draping. And I decided we are going to be a different kind of fashion house. I am intensely disillusioned by fast fashion. Did you know that 80% of the garment industry is women? And do you know that 80% of those women are paid less than $1 an hour? So for us to look like this, there are women all over the world who have to suffer. That's not okay. So I knew from day one that we're a very different kind of fashion house. Our entire process is bespoke. So we'll work with the customer to choose her fabric, we will work with her to take her measurements, and we will make a custom piece specifically for her that no one else in the world will have. Nikki's piece is custom made for Nikki, Kate's piece is not custom made for Kate, my piece is custom made for me. Same with the ladies behind me, Raji, Alice, Julie. So our tailors are paid Seattle wages no matter where in the world they live. I work from home and make Seattle wages no matter where I happen to work. Why shouldn't our tailors? Our tailors are all women. They live in Lagos, Nigeria. They live in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, Jakarta, Indonesia, Sydney, Australia, Bridgetown, Barbados, LA, Seattle, Detroit. So no matter where in the world our women live, they're able to earn a living wage. Most of our tailors are mothers who support their family with their tailoring. The picture on the right is Bolaji and her daughter, Esther. Bolaji was able to leave her abusive husband, take Esther, and move to the big city of Lagos and earn a living based on her tailoring. And because she's been our partner since day one of Prima Donna Studios, she's now able to open her own shop and her own business and hire a team of tailors to do work with her. Esther's watching her mother go from being a struggling single mother entrepreneur to being a powerful businesswoman in the bustling city of Lagos. Everything in our process is personalized. Every single thing is as special as the woman wearing it. So while this is a beautiful story, we ran into a huge issue. And that huge issue is the long wait time. So turns out when you custom make each and everything, this is a very time-consuming process. As of today, a year and a half into our business, we have 800 customers all over the world in 13 countries. So if someone orders a piece with us, the wait time can be 2 months. It can be 3 months. You can imagine this is not a great experience. So many people have told me, like, Donna, it would be great if you had some inventory. Retailers tell me this, Rent the Runway tells me this, everyone tells me this. And I'm seized with fear at this thought because of so many reasons. Namely, I see articles like this one, which is H&M, at the beginning of the pandemic, they were saddled with an inventory of $4.3 billion worth of unsold clothing because all of the H&M shops shut down. So I think about this and think, you know who doesn't have $4.8 billion? Me, This solo entrepreneur over here, the one whose entire fashion industry is funded by a very, very powerful independent angel investor here in Seattle, Washington, also me. So being self-funded, being a solo person running this, I just don't have the luxury to do the things that the big fashion houses do. So I had to come up with a process, a 5-step process, because I'm an engineer, I always need like some sort of framework, to figure out how do I add on to my comfort zone without losing my mind. So step 1, and this is probably the most important step of all, which is you have to understand why this is important to you. Why is it important that you get out of your comfort zone and take this next big step? For me, it's that I want to future-proof my entire career in life. Right now, I do happen to be in tech. I've been in tech for 16 years. And if you work in tech, you know that ageism is a real problem. Right now, tech likes me a lot, and I like tech a lot. But there's always 1 or 2 people deciding how long I'm in this industry. So whether it's in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I want to exit the tech industry, whether of my own free will or because I've been aged out, and retire into a life of being the CEO of a 20-year-old company. That is powerful. It's powerful to know that I don't have to go scrounging looking for a job, that I will be the kind of person who other people will come looking for a job to. So it is so important for me to control my destiny going forward. Second, why am I afraid? And the heart and soul of the matter is I'm not from the fashion industry. I didn't grow up in a garment district in LA or New York. I don't come from a I don't come from a family who owns a business. I have no idea what words like cost per unit mean. Everyone's like, what is your cost per unit? What is your production chain? What does supply chain look like? And I'm like writing these words down and nodding, saying like, yeah, I know these answers. I don't know them right now, but I'll know them soon. So yes, imposter syndrome all day. Fundamentally, I am a fashion designer who knows how to design for 1 person at a time. I don't know how to design for 1 billion women all over the planet. So yes, I am afraid. So 3rd step, I had to list everything that I need to do. And this is where there's a whole factor of you don't actually know what you don't know yet. So what do I know that I need to do? 1, design or choose the pieces that I would like to make inventory of. Okay, obviously do that one. 2nd, test those designs on actual people versus making stuff up. 3, find wholesale fabric that's not so boring I could die. 3, find a small batch ethical factory somewhere that I can do this production. 4, fit samples on real people. 5, find money, figure out what to charge people, update the website, figure out shipping faster. Do I have to learn TikTok? I don't know. How do you deal with returns? These are all things that a big fashion house needs to do. And once you write down everything you need to do, you need to put them in some sort of an order so you don't immediately get overwhelmed and abandon the whole plan. So in order, I need to first, before I have an inventory of fashion, I need to figure out what I'm going to inventory. So I need to either design the pieces or choose what I have and test on real people. So the way a person who's getting out of their comfort zone would do this would be, they would say, I have a 16-piece collection, and I'm going to inventory all of them. But if someone is not ready to do that, AKA me, I'm going to add on to my comfort zone. So like a proper engineer, I'm going to follow a scientific method and do 1 experiment at a time, changing 1 variable at a time. So what is the experiment? I'm going to choose 1 piece. I'm going to choose the one that has been selling quite a bit. It's the one Kate's wearing tonight, called the Alice Adventure shirt dress. I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to get feedback on our actual customers, make any edits to the pattern, find a bunch of local victims to give me feedback on this. The local victims are here on stage tonight, so they will be getting feedback on this. So once I identify the experiment, that's when I'm actually able to say, all right, which part of this process do I have absolutely no clue about? And the big question is, how the heck do you find good fabric in large batches, not 1 at a time? Right now, my fabric shopping is go to an exotic country and fill up my suitcase and illegally smuggle it back to the US. It turns out that doesn't work when you're ordering 200 yards of fabric. You get caught in a thing called customs. You have to pay a thing called taxes. So how do I actually do this? This is where I've had to realize that the things I don't know how to do, I need to hire. I found a site called Makers Row, which is all American-made manufacturing. And it turns out that there's a factory right here in town. And in Seattle, this factory is run by 4 lovely Vietnamese women who've been doing this work their entire lives. And they're more than happy to partner with me to make this vision come true. So once I identified this factory, identified these 4 women who I'm going to be doing work with, identified that I can still pay them Seattle salaries to do my work here in Seattle, I'm now able to actually take my product and go to market. Now, you might be thinking, Donna, are you a coward for not getting out of your comfort zone? Are you a coward for not taking a huge step and instead taking a tiny baby step? And I'll tell you, I've wrestled with this myself for years because I am a get out of the comfort zone, go do the thing sort. But throughout this pandemic, I've watched so many people, especially women, lose their businesses because they played big. They played bigger than they were ready to because they took advice from someone who had no skin in this game. How many businesses have we heard shutting down, folding because they went so big before they were ready? We've heard hundreds of those stories. And for me, it all comes back to the why. Why am I doing this? And my answer is simple. There are at least 1 million fashion companies in the world, but how many do you know whose primary goal is to create economic power for 1 billion women all over the world? There's just one of those, and that one's mine. Sometimes the most bold thing you can do is play medium, listen to yourself, and do the thing. My name is Dona Sarkar. I'm the Chief Creative Officer of Prima Donna Studios. Thank you very much.